We live on Jason.
Yeah. I just want to say we are here. It's all about the topics, After a late start, but better late than never. You don't know it's a boy. Yeah, China Wallen and alongside my boy Alan Powell. And we are here to just inform you on a daily basis or weekly basis, whatever you want to call it, with the topics. And Alan, how are you? Because I'm here experiencing nature for a bit.
Good night, everybody. I know I tell you the next show will have been from Navis. I still ain't reach it. You check it out. Unbelievable things has happened to me. You check it out. And sometimes for good and sometimes for bad. I would say this is for good. So, I still do it for another week. Maybe next week.
You're there way?
Yeah, still do it.
Hmm. Yeah, but
Um, as made up on the Dewe story, and we're gonna get into because I know you had mentioned you have a topic, but there has been a lot of traveling, by the political parties recently, and the premier recently, well, I think he was in New York.
hmm
Um, there was some kind of what advice do you have for other people who are trying to be bloggers? Stay consistent. Um, the premier would have gone and they would have put up a message and say, please be advised, the premier is going to be leaving the federation from I think the 7th. Oh yes, Loretta are still here. From the 7th to the 14th. Um, I want to see the premier post up pictures from in New York from couple days even before that. So my big
hmm
question is, do you think that the leader of the country have a responsibility when he leaving the country to say where again?
Of course.
Well, and you see, okay, the thing of it is, Jason, like the premier would have come in and the premier would have said certain things like he look at other countries and when the leader of the country walk into the room, all of the people who in there they would get up. You understand? As a sign of respect to the leader. No,
Yes.
I don't. Me not try to compare navies to states or nothing. We're talking about leaders. You check it out.
Yes.
No, first of all, respect is a kind of thing because when we see stars come in a room, nobody does tell people that they got to go on with nothing. You see that's a star and them man get the energy what go along with the standing what I get. It's not like they go around and they got to ask people to deal with them like a star or deal with them like a leader. Same way still, if you are gonna want the respect of these kind of people, when Air Force One is leaving America, American people know which part the jet going, who pan the jet, how long he going, what the man going to do. Just out
Yeah.
a normal thing. You can't ask me to give you the things of buy when we walk in the room and give you this type of respect. But then you go down with the country and it's just like, well, just now I'm gonna come back next week. You see what me I say?
Yeah,
The
I get what
little
you're saying.
tension there. And also I want to big up Alger Newton. Yeah, you check because I had mentioned to my friend them I said but Alger is the real politician. But when I think about it, what I realize about Alger is this is how you're supposed to be, in my estimation, as a voter.
A
You
voter.
check it out. Yeah, man. You are a voter and you're there somewhere and you hear CCM got something. Go. You could be all green you want to be in your heart. You could go along in your green shirt, however. But in my estimation, go. Of course, go. And you hear NRP have something, go. you need to hear what is taking place.
Yeah, of course.
Later on, we're gonna talk about the manifesto because a lot of people just feel powerless in terms of they feel like when they vote, this is the only time they got to hold politicians accountable. And I want to show people how they could hold politicians accountable to the manifesto and to listening the budget. But as I say, I just want to big up Alger Newton. I saw you got to run with the thing. You're there and you hear CCM got something go. And now some got something go. How you mean? But yeah, I just want to know if there's a responsibility for the leader to say, well, I go in this place, I go in that place. And as me say, me no know the big deal with, cause I see he was posting pictures before. It's like he went nervous and they say, bye. Me ask sweet bye. Right? And you know, no COVID test and no permission no come back by game up boy. And nothing wrong. Cause you got it like that. And I miss no press conference. You would not have to go back if you be close to the press conference. But Zook in the middle of the month, Zook really acting premier for the middle of the month. Not press conference time.
Not press conference time.
Mm-mm. Um, you wanted to talk about the school, so you go ahead and break down for people about what's going on with this school.
Okay.
And wait there. Remember, he got kind of two school stories. So break down which school story you want to talk about. If you want to talk about
Well,
two.
I gonna be as general as possible and get down to the specific schools afterwards. And I was in my group chat earlier and they were talking about the schools not being done on time for the opening of school, and this has been happening for years now. And with the St. James, with where is school near St. James
Yes.
Primary, right? With the video of that school circulating, you know what I mean? That's just actual proof that the media could see, you know what I mean? But this stuff been happening for years now, and like the timing, and one person gave me an excuse saying, what? Oh, people are busy during cultural hammer time. The government are busy during cultural hammer time and all that stuff. They look, but during cultural hammer time, people don't dare do the regular job too, during cultural hammer too. So we want to say the department, the public works department, and whoever subcontractor get the job for building the schools, they shut down during cultural hammer time. Because as far as we know, if you work in construction, you may be shut down from maybe the Friday and go back till the week after cultural hammer finish. I don't know if that still don't be allowed. But back in my time when I used to do construction, I know you get a week off, basically. But
Well,
if you know you have a contract and you have a deadline to meet, you know what I mean? Like it's back to work. But I feel like it becomes a habit now that every year they just wait till maybe 2 weeks, 2 weeks before school open, we try hustle up, whatever.
well, somebody bring it to my attention some years ago. So I end up and I start to just monitor the flex. You check it out. I like to monitor the flex to see what going on. And you got to remember a lot of these repairs they depending upon public works. In some scenarios, they would use a private contractor, but them man depending upon a lot of public works.
Yes.
And public works is stressed out. When you watch how public works year start, first of all, they basically the last thing they do is they set up the stage Christmas, them kind of time there for Christmas tree lighting and them thing. Like.
Yeah.
Then them man got a break, come back like the last week in January. When the man come back is when they come back is one or two pressing things, but you don't know interprimary is kind of the biggest thing on their mind, along with whatever road projects them a do. when interprimary boil over past Easter and them kind of thing, you know, them man they getting into culture armor time. When the school them closed down, um, that's it, you know. It's not like the school closed down and that is the opportunity they take to go into the school right after that to start to do things, at least to start. And really and truly you would go start and culture armor is the emphasis. Public works go do that. And a lot of people just ask like, well, what happened to straight co? Like the education co. Culture armor time the day when I left, I see them man putting up 10. You check it out. Them man involved in a culture armor too is a lot of hands needed. Maybe if culture armor was privatized and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't so dependent upon the government, these man could have been in the schools them kind of times. There. But even so, you're not gonna get them in the schools them kind of time there necessarily.
But
They're
depending
gonna be
upon what job is done, you could also give subcontracts if you know you're gonna be like this all the time.
I feel like the problem that has been happening with the contractors, if you check it out, watch pan the hospital and how much contractors been pan the hospital. Watch pan
Yeah.
all kind of things and how many people depend them. The government, me I tell you that the government books all the time. You know? Me always not a lie that the government books. The government does tell lie that them books, but you tell me them no money. Maybe some individuals get money, but collectively the government ain't have the funds to be keeping up all of that. And when you're depending upon public works to be doing road and going this place and that place, you know gonna work. And isn't public works divided by sections per se? There is the crew for road, there is also the crew that is used under social services. They were the ones who mainly dealt with culture armor. In my estimation, as me tell you, and especially the kind of culture armor where we just had. Remember, we had an election culture armor, so he had to have road patching going on. If the same road crew, and if you're gonna tell me he got sections as well, how the road section are gonna assist with the school them? If you tell me them the road,
Well, as
unless the school them want road.
as far as we know, a private the NAMI subcontract private contractors.
Definitely, me know he done had couple time, but the bad. Them man want the money. They need it quick. Remember them that time when them there good time of books son. Them there good time of books too. Them man need the funds. What you talking about? So
That's all they use.
and I did hear an interesting point. Somebody say culture armor never delay. But the start of school does always delay. And I never think about that one day. All the things where them man don't do, all the projects them do in the village and of culture, the start of culture armor never delay. But the start of school and it's for real. It's a trend right now. And me not understand. I would not embarrass myself. So I would a quicker announce a week later rather than continue. Can't be the Brooks because them are bringing foreign artists to keep functions. If they were so Brooks, then we'll hire local artists. Well, I only you got to remember, you know, the man got to keep eye confused. Eh? I'm saying that there should be a section of public works that deal with repairs to government buildings, and there is the public works road crews. Bye. I feel like that sound good, eh? But then the next problem gonna always come down to the amount of schools and public works. Because even if you got this department and you say, okay, we divide it properly, and they deal with government buildings. He got what? 8 primary school, and then he
Yeah.
still got the high school and them. How much them man are gonna be able to achieve within that span of time there is still hard. And that's how come, as you're saying, you got to bring in some contractors too who do some part of the work.
But don't you think the straight crew, as you say, yeah, Sammy don't see all of this because they've been to all the schools them, so they supposed to get idea what's up to.
By them man in and of themselves. Them man really and truly supposed to be a small thing, you know? Them man can't take on a big up. Them man can't take on a big up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So they know they can't take on the work, but what I'm saying is they see what's going on.
Well, well, I got to watch certain things. Me got to do like that too. 'Cause I see deficiency. I got to come up with a business plan. If they had given the children laptops, they could have remote learning while finishing the schools, even though going down fast. LOL, if I want somebody that's not confusing news on me, I pray every day to Jehovah God to keep me sane every morning and at night. Well, I wanna the way I got to the one. Me, I drink and corona extra keep me sane. They don't have to, cause all of this stuff don't need repairing at the same time. Make some a priority and deal with it accordingly.
But that's what I was saying, Jevon. You know what I mean? And everything they're supposed to be handling, like small stuff, like a toilet clog up. You know what I mean? You don't got idea what to do. You know what I mean? But if you know this shit tank run over, that ain't your bracket.
Bye. And bye. They really got to make plans too, in terms of they're supposed to know every single day that ain't gonna nobody in the school. And mark off the days and them where okay, these are the days then we for sure we gonna do construction. And them are supposed to be going in the school in terms of like coming on to the times when they're gonna do the construction. And be getting assessments and all them kind of thing they laying them and know as you say, okay, that toilet you know work. That sink you need replacing. Them kind of things they say that they gonna know well why it's time. And we
Yeah, of
deal with
course.
the thing accordingly. But um why have a department named planning when it seems like nothing is being planned? Well, start by apprentice. The planning department is actually physical planning. Eh? So this not really the planning out of other things. Them are how the layout of the island gonna be. I would suppose. Um, you're going to the Ivor Walters one now. It easy.
Well, well, I don't know if Master Control could bring up the screenshot. You know what I mean? So everybody here could see it. Although some of it already was seen already. You know what I mean? But if so much the better. And this issue is about a microwave. I call him microwave because Michael is always helpful in times. And with the microwave saga, you know what I mean? I guess he was mentioning about his child getting an opportunity to use the microwave.
I could read it if you want me to read it. Yeah. I get
Yeah,
it.
you could read it.
No. This is from Kenny Easy One. Ivor Walters Primary School kitchen staff. I have had it. I'm fed up. I've heard many unbelievable stories about the kitchen staff at the school, and I've had a few bad experiences myself. Do you think it is right for my 8-year-old son to go to the kitchen to get his lunch heated up and decide he can go back to class to eat his food cold just because of the frustration he's getting from the staff? This is frustrating and it needs to stop now. And he got exclamation marks and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't school of a maintenance department. But
So tell me something, right? Last week we distribute thousands of bags, right?
mm-hmm.
I believe if each school get for a microwave, it would have been better too.
The microwave's gonna be Christmas. I believe that's how come we went back to New York. Yeah. Best Buy had a deal. Best Buy had a deal. Steal of a deal. Yeah. Mm. See, I just hear Labor they say, yeah, remember when Labor they then telling that, yeah, yeah. So you get a steal of a deal. The
So he wear
machine,
white. He wear white also.
who the premier?
Yeah, he wore white for Labor Day also.
Yeah, the one linen shirt.
Okay.
Anytime the premier come amongst us, you don't know you have to put on the one white linen shirt. And the
Anyway,
shoes travel, it's the same shoes.
that is a yes, just for real. Um, with the microwave saga, I know back in the days, I think we didn't. Yeah, we had microwave. Yeah, when we go in primary school, we did have microwave and all that type of stuff there. But I guess the turnover is more now, so I believe we should have more microwaves. Microwave a cheap thing for the government right now. You know what I mean? And even if the campaign and give away microwave, so much the better. Just so the campaign and give away bags. But I bet you today, you could take a picture of the students them in school, see not one of them back there because guess what? Everybody back done boy. And you just give me extra bag. The kids them don't go camping.
No man, them back then don't use. I was looking to make sure. 'Cause let me tell you something, right? You ain't gonna find me in vex with the premier for giving out the bags.
No.
Even with the photo app, is only one thing about the bag. There's only one risk the premier have in giving out the bags. If November the bag them are fall apart, it's a problem. That's all. As long as it's a bag, what the premier we give one hit at us, as long as it's a Jan Sport, the premier straight. You understand? You got a lot certain level. And he good. If you give me these people any kind of bag, what ain't too sexy, ain't gonna work out. But outside of that, me can't hate and giving out bag and everything like I got to. Yeah, that's a reasonable thing to do, in
But
my
don't
estimation.
worry, don't worry, think you're gonna take a picture of my kids with your bag to get a political gain,
Um, why not? And let me ask you a question. What, you feel like he take them picture there?
No, I ain't gonna think that he take the picture there. Somebody gonna get up. Somebody else
Exactly.
gonna deal with a picture there. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. He ain't stupid. Hey, one thing, he ain't stupid, One thing, he go out and left a loophole who defend himself.
No, listen. With regards to creating the environment, you understand, to show like his power, and so the premier is good at creating that environment, to create an environment for like the economy to strive and them kind of things. That's a different conversation, but yeah, tell you,
Mm-hmm.
me can't hate Panda Party. Me can't hate Panda Party at all.
So when you reach down, I want you go down a sand crab or go eat your fish water too.
By really and truly, them man said that they're gonna start construction over there, So me kind of glad that me
Mm-hmm.
not really got to that castle or nothing. Now is one of the best times in our life. It's a good time that castle man not study right now. Yeah, I have to stop out there. I have crab and I have lobster. Stay in town with me steak. Check it out. I'm a salmon.
You go down and eat some of the fish water and you know what I mean, you call it George. But in terms of the situation there with the microwave, you know what I mean? Like the kitchen based on how he vented, you know what I mean, knowing the fact that the government job at risk, you know what I mean? That's a serious problem.
Yeah.
Because
Uh,
once you say something, uh-huh.
I want to talk about the rules for the guidelines for the students and how they
Yeah,
must
let's
have the
go.
hair.
We going straight in, you know?
Definitely. This is from the Ministry of Education and Library Services, September 4th, 2022, to all parents and guardians. After consultation, the following amendments to the secondary schools have been approved. Males here should be cut no longer than 1 inch. That is rule number one.
Mm-hmm.
Rule number two, hair should be well groomed. This means that there should not be twist outs, but hair should be combed out. Should have what? Should the hair be grown more than a 1/4 inch? Hair should be properly squared. No dyes or colored sprays and colors should be placed in your hair. Okay, so let me
Mm-hmm.
deal with the man part first.
Yeah,
When we been there at school, right? We had
yeah.
this similar thing. I mean, I always walk out. So how come them man don't make like Guyanese and so cut their hair short like Abby? How come them man 1 inch, right? So long. Them man 1 inch reach who dug in their face, them man chop back the hair and say, them man look like they in a bed watch or something. Every time them man just chop
You
back.
know what? You know why? Because we niggas ain't gonna look tidy with our hair.
Mm-hmm.
We niggas ain't got the correct hair, the substantial
And
hair
and
to put in gel and water and you just let down.
and you hit it right there. Um when I bring up, cause last week I was trying to say like about this Obia Act. The reason for the Obia Act, as me said, and man say, boy, black people can't get you like a song. That got to be magic. You got to be a do some kind of thing and spin out your Bible. You just can't get you from intelligence. You understand? So them man put in all kind of prejudice. He got laws, what they call vagrancy laws, saying really and truly like you're not just supposed to just their tongue and stand up. That man supposed to be able to give you like a ticket to them kind of thing, man. And this is another example. We are a country, majority what they call African descent. How are we still got them thing here going on? And the thing what I like, what give me a lot of heart. I realized that the more vocal people that I saw on social media were the people who live in the diaspora, as they would say. I see a lot of people who live like states and England being like, what is this? In a 2022. I've been
I
a thing
showed
that
some
about
people
good word. Go ahead.
I showed some people but yeah, we had a gathering and like when I showed them, look, this is our education system. Hear them, what the fuck that has to do with education? What happened? The hair does be in your face or something, so you can't see. What? You know? I don't get it. Like
We,
the queen, like
we
they reached a point. Like, even as a matter of fact, the queen is dead. Like you know. But hey,
and
we went through this for a long time, right? And it keeps on going and going and going and going. And guess what? You understand me? They leg of the buggery laws out the gate, and they still want to keep our here 3 man square.
Yeah, because and you see it almost like them a try to tell Abby Jason, buggery am up on the culture than I be here. That them acceptable. Let we go and fight for this thing. We going all the way court who make sure you know that this is unconstitutional. This is against the constitution. But you're here, an inch. That
I
it
believe
can't
what
make
happened to us.
sense.
You know what I believe happened to us. We all did the focus on the problem for like 3 days and let it go.
Mm-hmm.
We focus on it. You know what I mean? Like for instance, when Barbados went republic, everybody jump up. Oh, St. Stevens need to go republic. You hear about that for 3 days after you just wither away. So nobody gonna get no time to take her be serious. Even if 1,000 people jump up, you know what I mean? Who time to sign the letter for the petition for that? Nobody there to sign. Nobody gonna time to sign that day. Why me don't vent her for that day? That I done gone. Next
See,
school year come up.
Shamone say she
Uh-huh.
son get suspend for we here.
But here the thing what does bother me. You understand me? Because you gotta lead by example. And I could remember a couple years ago I made a live about it. And they're talking about the here and decency and all that stuff there. But don't you know, the teachers them are also role models of the students, because if the teacher come with nails and he hair braided too, guess what? The student them a look up to you, the kids them a look up to you. You know what I mean? If they see you doing that, you know what I mean, they want to work out. Well, that's the standard of living too. Not knowing you treat yourself. Yeah.
And one of the things what I was reminded from seeing a lot of the people posting about the
Yeah.
hair is the lifestyle, the hairstyle. Where like a lot of we parents had. I remember I see some picture of my mother and thing in high school, and I see other people, but it's a lot of Afro and so. We come from long hair story, but now in 2022, you're saying by for this child to learn properly, for he to be able to compete with the child down in Guyana who got 26 ones and two twos, he got to be at least he got to be 1 inch here. You know, understand how that makes sense? Let me say the rules for the ladies, because the ladies got 5 rules. They say braids are permitted, but only conservative and protective hairstyles should be used. They should be no longer than shoulder length. If braids are longer, they will have to be removed or adjusted. Me don't know who the hell are gonna put their hand on and try to remove or adjust them braids, but that's rule number one. Crochet braids are allowed with the following stipulations. Styles using crochet braids should mimic the student's natural braided hair. The two, should braided extensions be used for buns and wraps? The bun should not be excessively large and should be no more than 10 centimeters in diameter. So teacher walk around with ruler who measure buns? Who measure buns in a CSS?
So hear
No.
me out.
Go ahead.
So suppose you have a child, supposing, you know what I mean? Um there's a situation with a health, like for instance, what you call the disease in your head, alopecia,
Mm-hmm.
and the child, our students choose to wear a wig.
Mm-hmm.
Will
No,
that be
well,
permitted?
the next rule is no wigs or weaves are allowed, So she gonna have to watch the red table with Jada Pinkett Smith, and she gonna have to watch the Chris Rock job and figure it out. She gonna go get a
And with
boyfriend like a will, or gonna got to slap off everybody what buzz job and she.
the hair length, my daughter here is long, so she got to keep them cut because they want a certain hair length.
Well, for the ladies, they don't have any hair length. Well, what did I say? Well, apparently, if his braids, he only could go down to his shoulder. I don't know if it's natural if he could go past his shoulder.
Yeah, but if you here already naturally long and you put it in braids,
Mm-hmm.
but you
No,
see
the
where I'm
braid.
going with it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Them she gonna have to call them up in a kind of way that they reach back to your shoulder.
But listen, dear education department, if you wrote that letter, you dumbing the students them because some people don't come to you with some common sense. I want to come with a fucking British act.
Precisely. And the thing is that in a Britain they still would not have got all of this. The only thing I may
No,
understand of this is the no colors in your hair. I may still not really understand that.
but lad, they don't do all kind of thing. They don't do all kind of this and that. I can't get the school and repair, but I want the people them appear how I want them appear. But I can't get the school and repair. Hmm. I make up my mind what I really want to do.
Shamonia, that law they only applies if you hear kinky, you know. Cause this is what the same thing when me say I remember me in school and these things going around, but I looking at the Guyanese man, them man no boy. Uh, even Harry here no been never be so short. You can't
But
do it. When me be in that school, maybe want me here be as long as possible.
But imagine this. Imagine this. You know what I mean? Imagine this. Imagine what the single mothers them got to go through. The same single mother them what he talk about got to go through if they got if he especially if he got three boy child. You know what I mean? And he gotta keep them at a certain length every 2 weeks because some people here go faster than some. We ain't gonna tell them you should not breathe.
Right? You gonna tell him instead of turn off the TV 9 o'clock in the night, turn off the TV 7 o'clock. You check it out. You have
You
to
know
make
here.
cuts where you can. Sacrifices have to be made by. Um, that's something else I've been wanting to deal with. You have anything else you can recall?
Um I wanna talk about the bid I see for geothermal with Neville. It
Oh,
seems like they're looking
oh,
bidders.
oh. Go ahead, speak to me.
Well, this again is a next loophole. So, guess what? In my view, in my opinion, in my opinion, I repeat, it look like it's a blame game going on for the future. And when I say blame game for the future, it look like if it didn't come off, oh that that shit is on Nevlek. You know what I mean? Not on the government this time. But we're gonna encourage saying it to encourage people to vote for geothermal. But if it ain't happen, well, we got turn to Nevlek. Nevlek, what going on over there?
Um, I do not think that the government is gonna be able to separate themselves from Neblek on this particular issue. The confusion what I see with regards to the bidding process is the government say we're opening the bidding, send your bid, and they give an email for Nevlek, and then they give an email for the Caribbean Development Bank. No, yeah, for CDB. Um, if me and you I do one project, if me I do one project and me I accept bid, how would the bid and them could go to this one or that one? Who is in charge of this? If you understand what I'm saying, if you if me I keep a music fest then, and I'm saying I want to have this amount of local DJs, I want the local DJs them to put in the bid, put in your bid, and me give you me email address. I'm still give you another email address for the promoter or something. Who you ever send your bid to? Who really in control of what going on? Who project is this? So that part there is where me watch it and me want to know. What going on with that thing here? And then the next thing what kind of confusing to me is my understanding was they spoke to the CDB and whoever else. They're excited by the project. They don't say that this is the best project. This project it holds so much hope for the rest of the Caribbean for what it could do. And they're excited to do this thing. It's a developmental bank. I thought that they had the money. I thought that that's the reason why we're talking to these people. Me no know big I'm gonna talk to CDB or find or tell CDB we find my money, find my people. But why be I went to them for? If you check what me I say, and I be went to them and
Mm-hmm.
I be make them so strong. Them a give Abby money, but the bids and them a go to them. What going on? Me nah, I need more clarity because I see the confusion already. There is another somebody who's supposed to be an investor. Bids are going to them as well. I don't know what taking place as far as that aspect. It confused me. So that a meeting. But
Very much so.
and and the reason why me I say, see, like for example now, they're saying that this month is gonna be the first month without the fuel surcharge. Um, the premier do that.
Without.
Not without with it cap. Sorry, they say it's supposed to got some kind of cap. The premier do
Okay.
that. You understand? The premier would tell you Nevlec is as much as you could say statutory body or whatever. The shares, the majority of the shares is owned by the government. It's the government entity. Um, Elon Musk ain't own all the shares in his company, them. No? He only got a controlling stake. If you got a controlling stake, is your thing. That's how come people been a ball out pan the government body light bill. So we ain't gonna separate Nevlec and the government on this particular one at all. But by the premier got some Nevlec questions coming his way soon and that's we talking Nevlec. Um,
Woo!
by Jason, I wanted to talk about this thing. Um, this is another confusing story to me.
Yes.
Eric would have made a post and he would have said that he's very proud because there's a handing over ceremony. The NIA hand over a bulldozer, a excavator, and two truck to solid waste.
Yeah.
If the NIA give solid waste something, that's how you qualify that? How that something? Seems like a big deal.
It's like the topics giving realtor kind of $50.
But you see, this is where like I read the post and I understand. Election is coming. Election is coming. You gotta be smart. How you gonna tell me the NIA the it's like okay if the NIA give housing and land something a backup we gonna watch it and say it's a big deal. They give NASPA something. That's their job. How this man gonna come now and be like, boy, really proud at this handing over ceremony.
But that's strange. But that's strange that um normally stuff would be donated from Taiwan and all these places, right? And all of a sudden now there's a handing over ceremony from the NIA to solid waste. So you're separating the entities now. Solid waste maintaining itself now. That's what you're trying to show me. Because his years now solid waste wanted the old bulldozer.
And it's the same thing that came up in the conversation I had. Because we did, and the person said, these are come from Taiwan, no? I say it can't be. Because they know you're taking credit for something that ain't even yours. So me
I
no
feel
wanna
I
believe.
feel
Me no
I
wanna
feel
believe they
like
will do that.
they come from Taiwan the same time with the bag them.
Oh, you think the bags came from Taiwan as well?
Yeah, I feel like all them come from Taiwan and the garbage truck men had in the bag them. And when the truck reach, they just empty the truck and it full of bag.
Well, we're up on Taiwan.
Yeah.
Um, and Mr. Premier, you're gonna get more big up later. But I'm not knocking the education that people go over to Taiwan to get. There's only one question I'm asking about Taiwan at this time. China intend for Taiwan to be China. We sending students over to Taiwan all the time and saying, go and get your education. China got on timeline for when they need to go along over there to go get back the island, yeah. And this is one of the places where if fighting start, they're saying this could be one of the triggers for. You got certain places in the world. What if something happen? That might be World War Three, and this event might be World War Three. I just wanna know what's the scenario for when China decide by we going back for our country. 'Cause as we speak currently, them man does be flying fighter jets at Taiwan all the time. Them man pan a lot for years now. And I feel like the government just I pay attention because we bring these people over all the time. We take in the things. We just get what the splash pad and all these things. They are going to be fighting soon, and they're going to need assistance. And I got people out there who are going to need to get back from over there. So maintain the relationship
Don't
and
worry,
what's
man.
not.
We ain't got a lot of rice land in the mountain soon.
A lot of Iceland.
Yeah.
Uh, Um. Okay. Let me go deal with the manifesto
Mm-hmm.
of 2017. But before we leave with the manifesto, you feel like there's any you feel like the general public does pay any interest in the manifesto? They have any care for a manifesto?
If the manifesto getting pictures,
So you don't think that the general public really and truly going through this document in a way to determine.
from a politician to politician point of view, they would go through it. That's personally who challenge each other. But from a voter's point of view, all we want to see is pictures.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna give the voters my opinion as to why a manifesto is an important document and could also be used to hold your local politician accountable. The reason I say so is people just look at it as is only election time. You go in there, you make your X, and that's it. In my estimation, the manifesto, because and especially the manifesto applies for the length of the term. These are the things where you tell me you're gonna do for me in a this term. Especially ladies. You know how when you tell a woman boy you're gonna do something or she and you know the next thing a woman gonna ask you when you're gonna do it. Cause she want to know. You can do it for me within the term and then gonna remind you. And if you ain't do it within the term, they're gonna say you ain't do that for me. And that's how come you can't get X. We gonna get to learn the mentality there from the ladies with regards to the manifestos.
Well, that's why
Remember
we have
what
ladies
them?
running politics, you know.
Okay. Oh, women are born leaders.
Oh yeah.
See how much you learn from you. So anyway, like you got to. This is what you say you're gonna do. This is not even, and this is after you done went around and you say you talk to the public, and this is your ideas and your plans. So I feel like it's important to know what those are, so that when you don't see them happening in your community, particularly coming up now to at the time when we at the end of this term, if you ain't see things happen which you were told would happen, ask yourself, well, how come that didn't happen? Was that the even reasonable to think about being able to happen? You check it out. Same thing like as I tell you when Janice come and Janice say and I forget solar, wind and geothermal, you can't do all one time. I ain't saying that thing ain't so lovely, but you're gonna go pick one and tell me which one. Can't tell me how. So anytime somebody come and they tell you, oh, I'm gonna do all this, you got to ask them how. That is why it's important to ask, at least when it comes to the manifesto and you got opportunity. You tell me you ever do these things with me, how you ever get all of them things to do? You understand?
I have
The
investors.
next boy, you don't want to hear the premier say investors. That's not a good thing. But anyway, the next way I feel like you could keep politicians accountable is by listening to the budget at the end of the year. Because the only reason I does know everything was gonna take place in the community, me listen to the budget, and me know well okay, alright. So that I know when I see construction going on in a certain place, it's because they don't tell you. If they tell you in a them kind of thing, then it don't happen once again. You know who you're dealing with. If they're telling you this is our focus, and you consistently see that they are doing other things, then you understand that what I say is not what I do. I gonna tell you all the wonderful things then what I'm gonna do, but I ain't gonna do them. I ain't gonna build a road. You gotta work out that for yourself. Work out the maths. Mm. Let me pull up that manifesto. Yeah. The 2011 one too, no, but not necessary. Um,
But but anything from the CCM manifesto is necessary. Don't say that word again.
no, not everything. But it's a long ass. 60 pages. All CCM manifesto long ass. But it's only the pictures make it so long. If it wasn't for pictures, this would have been like 15 pages. Yeah? Accountability. And the Charleston Accord is also in the manifesto. The man said they're gonna get a lump sum payment from the federal government as witness of the atrocities. So Matt Bentley came into office and he said that his focus is going to be on three things: um, governance, the economy, and social development. The first promise that was made by the Honorable Matt Bentley in the area of governance was that the CCM would have sitting of parliament at least once every 2 months. And he said this would allow the government to timely relay of information in the transaction of the people's business. Um, I could tell you for sure
Mm-hmm.
that ain't happen.
Nope.
That would have mean that CCM would have gone to Parliament roughly 25 times in in the term.
2020.
No, in the term, cause they would have been going 5 times a year. I gonna take out the
First
budget.
time a year.
Yeah, I would count that as one of the times. Boy, the premier is traveling more than the amount of sittings. The premier is gonna travel. He gonna travel to at least once a month, once every 2 months. But in Ghana parliamentary sitting every 2 months. These are things to it because me gonna be real with you. You got things where the government ain't do, which people gonna watch it and they ain't gonna be interested in. So them are gonna say, well, so what them man ain't keeping parliament? The the benefit of them keeping parliament is Nevis has the opportunity to make laws, to do things for themselves in certain areas. We got exclusive jurisdiction on certain things. If they ain't down there doing it, and they're looking at the only way to push Nevis forward is through federal government, rather than going down in a your parliament where you are your speaker and you could do your thing, there is a problem. Ain't gonna seem so. But the reason why they made the promise is because they realize the benefit it could cause. But as I said, it's gonna be for the people to determine.
Yeah.
The second rule was that they would speedily operationalize legislation regarding to integrity in public life. I think that they were able to do that. We had this scenario here recently with Brand, and I think a lot of people express that they ain't like they thought it would have been more thorough, and they thought we would have had more access. Because I don't really see what is the point of public officials having to give up this information, but the information stay private. So if the public do everything for the public, keep everything private. We can be hearing from the commission on a more regular basis to understand what is taking place fast with the things. People don't even know where the offices are and these type of things. So
Of course.
I think they operationalize it with regards to how good it is. Once again, that's for the people. This next one here is an interesting one. I got to read all of that one. Yeah, that one, yeah, that one, yeah, taxi. I don't think a lot of people would know about this promise. They said with increasing demands to attend to public business and with more diverse communities and increasing population, it must be a priority to institute electoral reform. Admittedly, there are some areas that are not within our constitutional purview, but where the NIA has control, we must exercise that authority. They said one such area is jurisdiction over the increase in the constituencies in the NIA. In a new dispensation, your party in government shall commence the process to increase the number of constituencies to 7 for the Nevis Island elections. This will allow the government to better deal with increasing demands of modern governance.
Wow.
Um, what do you think about that?
I feel like going by level up, go drink something.
So And you see the good thing pan that one there too. Um, with the one before I could tell you like, yeah, I think the La pass. This one is just a straight fail. You say we
Yeah.
had seven constituencies in Ghana, seven constituencies. We're not even a pressure you. You just straight up fail on that one there. Um, the next one is that they promised to do monthly press conferences, and
They, they are I.
you see, I just begin to see, cause what happened? CCM promised to have monthly press conference. CCM is the premier, so the premier monthly press conference is CCM monthly press conference. That is the only interpretation I could have.
Okay.
If he had another interpretation, other people would have been able to tap.
You believe CCM people that read their own manifest?
Yeah, I
So they're
mean,
not better than.
yeah. This next one is just words. I'm not even gonna think. The next one was to reform the civil service. So I then it's a lot of words. This is one of them where it sound good. It's one of them
Yeah.
where you read it and you say, "By this person is intelligent." Me not even you getting into that. They say they're gonna reform the civil service. Um, if y'all see the civil service has been reformed and you see better service in the NIA, that's on you. That's your determination. Me not say none with regards to that. The next one is construction work has started to replace the Treasury building, which was destroyed by arson. The CCM party in government has envisioned the construction of a financial complex to house all related financial departments of the government. This building will be completed in the new term. You know of any financial complex? Me want to know if he talk about they had just planned to build over the treasury building. Cause I don't want to be harsh on this if he all he meant was that we gonna build over the treasury building.
The one who was refurbished.
Yeah.
They're gonna build it over.
No, well what I'm saying is he in this he said construction has already started to replace the treasury building. And then he said the government envision a financial complex that will house all the financial departments. So I
Bullshit.
don't know if they so I don't know if they're saying that the building that they put back down there, this is the financial complex. But I still wouldn't believe because if you're telling me you're putting all the financial, that means you're telling me inland revenue down there, Ministry of Finance down there, statistics down there. So as I say, I don't know if we were supposed to get some grand financial complex and this hosting all of the, as they say, the financial instruments. CCM always has nice
Well,
words, man.
I can't do what Tanya saying. I mean, because he mentioned the arson too. He
Mm,
mentioned somebody light on a fire.
oh yeah, that's in here. The next thing was 18 million expansion of the Alexandra Hospital, and that would be finished in December 2019. Once again, all you have to do you just go and make up your mind. If the hospital will finish December 2019 and CCM being look like a genius for having a brand new hospital just as COVID-19 start, if when COVID-19 start, we get catch with Abby pants down by Abby uncle. You just gotta determine. Um, this one here is entertaining. They say with the anticipated growth in the economy and the expansion of the private sector, there will be a need for commercial space. At present, the administration occupies a number of spaces which can easily become available to satisfy demand as it unfolds. Big up the Solomons and, and Weber Herbert, by the way. As a catalyst towards this endeavor, your CCM party shall construct a government administrative complex. This site has been identified and preliminary designs are nearing completion. This now the social security building here that about. Grand administrative complex. Well, lot of complex I have been around get. News, you know, realize that three complex news with that. The cultural complex, the financial complex, and still the administrative complex.
And still me complexion.
What is a complex society?
We
As me I
diverse.
say,
We creating a
as
nation.
yeah, as me I say once again, me not really have a jump in at them thing too much. It
No,
gonna
of
be more
course
big
not.
ups. It is whether or not it happened. Um, that is the last thing under the governance category. Um, with regards to social development, yeah, with regards to the social development, CCTV will be expanded. I think that the government has been able to do that. So I ain't gonna knock them on the part there. I wanna know how much the CCTV cost. That's the only thing, but the CCTV is not a bad thing. There is no knocking of the government. It's just like how much things cost in general. There's something else done here. I want to know how much it costs too.
It's talk
And
a
you forget
politician.
about Ted. Tanya want to Ted have some place. Oh yeah, big up. Oh Tanya, yeah, big up Ted Hobson. Big up Ted Hobson. How me go forget? Yeah. Don't let me forget you, Ocho.
But we thought Ted Hobson was more personal for campaign usage.
No. Remember which part? Social security and so that. All them that Ted
Or the
Hobson
land.
building them, you know. Yeah, no, them that Ted Hobson building them, you know. Which part? Cable TV and so used to be.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, man. Them not Ted Hobson building them. Listen. You can really got to find a tongue and watch too much of land. And Ted Hobson ain't got to do with that. Every other lot of land, Ted Hobson got something to do with that. There. As me said, the CCTV has been expanded. Um, they say it was to stop heinous crime and thing. The only thing one make with the CCTV, right? I just I just hope that now that we got the CCTV, ain't on a bank in Charlestown get robbed hide. As long as you can avoid that, things should be alright. This next one here. Huh, man. This is an institute this time. With the growth of
Yes.
the tourism sector and the trust to and no, sorry, I need my English verse right. With the growth of the tourism sector and the thrust to higher divisions with five-star experience, increasing pressure is placed on us to um
What?
increasing pressure is
What?
placed on
What's
us
the
to have
Alexa?
yeah at the ready professionally trained and skilled practitioners in the field of hospitality. Uh, we must we must train and prepare our people Therefore, your CCM government will partner with an already identified private investor. And let me tell you something, what I know. If you hear Mark Brantley say already identified private investor, go sleep. Take a shot. If you want to light it up, that's the time. You don't got to study nothing else what he say. Once you say already identified private investor, things bad,
Dog dead.
things rough. Yeah. And he said that they are going to create a hospitality institute, and they're going to get training in culinary arts, mixology, bartending, cosmetology, massage therapy, hospitality management, and related areas. And this is gonna have foreign students and local students.
Yeah,
You
who do
just
what?
got
Of
to
course for
point.
3 days. Of course for 3 days so you could get certificate and say well done.
Oh no, oh no, we're gonna be cranking out people with good manners, just cranking them out in meals.
Think it's college free, eh? So you better tread lately.
Bye. I think we were supposed to get a college as well. The next one was the Mondo track. No, not the no. No, the next one was just a celebration of the Mondo track. Oh no 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 no! I find out where the sweetness be the next one. The next one was they were saying that the Mondo track, the only events that cannot be held there are the Olympics and World Games. And they said the only thing needed, seating, parking, and attendant facilities are now required to elevate the track to the best in the region. Your CCM government will complete this in this next dispensation.
I see a boy make a post about the same track, right? Saying about best better than Wishpa. He went and all these places. Yo, if somebody, I hope somebody pay you a talk. Because if you talk for free, you sound like a scunt.
Um. Okay. Um. Hear the vibes too. Me not really concerned about people who participated in events, and it gonna sound rough. How I must put this by? There is the part I concern about them as far as like the experience what they had with the track and with the facilities and them. That not necessarily mean that them know how to put on an event. And that not necessarily watch ya. If the highest set of running you do in your life was in high school, no. You're disqualified from the conversation. If you had some good times in inter primary, you understand? You run a little one to inter high, no. You disqualified from the conversation. Really and truly, with regards to the track and so. If Chauvin tell me, I gonna believe. And he gonna can't be in public neither. He gonna got to be in private because you see he's a statesman, eh? And he's an optimistic man. He's not gonna embarrass the country publicly. But privately he might tell me, boy, I don't know, my God, this is what we need for real, to take this thing to another level. I went over to the Mondo Chat, Jason. First time I got over the Mondo Chat, and I said, look here, in a team that a preparation area, you understand? It's like they just got a grass bank inside still. Ain't like you, and me I talk about you need building it. Because one of the
Of
good
course.
thing is them we went to there and no rainfall. But the chat got to be like if rainfall, the students and them, there is enough room there for them to go inside and building, and then in there, and then all up on one another, everybody within them space and comfortable. When we call you and we say, get ready, come to this place, you actually come to this building and you check in, and the thing look real. Yo, the thing go be professional. No? It's like we got upgraded sheep pen when you go over by the Mondo chap. upgraded. You understand? I be chop some no galvanize and all them kind of thing there. But we
Mm-hmm.
not really like take this thing all the way. In my estimation, um, the bus actually has ran on the track and all them kind of things there. The, 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 the,
You
the
go match the for
biggest
independent?
the biggest violation on how me and why I have to disqualify the brother Tats is that he has the mistaken belief, and this is how come I was trying to kind of run around this. He have the belief that the participants more important than the people who gonna come over there to support the participants. So in other words, he feel like having the best track with not necessarily the best facilities for the people and them who gonna come out there and spend money or make the event a success is more important, and that show me he full of shit and he does not understand what is taking place with the thing. If out there if you go out there on this wonderful track and nobody out there watch you, where the environment, how you are gonna get money
Exactly.
from these things here? The, I went to over upon the track. Me had to sit down man and half a blocks. You check. The next time I went to them, me sit down upon them steel chairs. Rah. Whoa. And the next thing about them steel chairs there, right now is currently every day when you wake up is 90 something degrees, feel like 100 and something. You can't keep no kind of event out and then hinting that and go sit down upon them there right now, but you crazy? No. And the experience for the man who gonna come in to the venue, as me say, he got to be good for the athletes them too. That's why them man need to fix up the gym and all them type of things there. But I like the parking lot. Bullshit. Bullshit. That ain't a good experience. And especially like to go tongue. We don't know to go tongue and get parking. It is just hells. Right now, to go Mondo Chuck and get parking. I wish I was one of the special ones them. I could have park up in the self.
But
None
if
of
you
them
wash your
things
car the same day,
cool.
but if you wash your car the same day, you not go worry about rain, no, and dust you gotta worry about.
Um Tanya, the sun and the stands are sufficient, eh? But me not tell a lie, boy. Them down in the complex competition will determine what are the hardest seat in a news, boy. Cause me as a man, watch it, me don't make up my mind long time in a Jason. Like when me have a complex. I don't walk with a little pillow, you know. Can't do it. I walk in with my pillow, man. I can't. Cause you know if you in the complex you in there for like 3 hours, you know. No man. Can't walk. Mm. Um $15 million was supposed to be invested into the El Camino Willet Park. Um to upgrade the
Hey,
facility to go ahead.
but hear me out, right? Not to stray from the Mondo truck, but how much the Mondo truck had cost to reach to that level? About 10 to 12 million, right?
In the range there for phase one.
Okay, so if you invest in 15 million into El Comido with it Park, you know what I mean? That's a huge uplift. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay.
They said there was a need to specialize in sports. So we Jason get kicked out the host to the audition now. You see what Tanya
Now,
said?
now
So
we'll talk.
they said El Camino Willet was supposed to be upgraded to a first class facility. What? to a facility, no, they say with first class and international standards. But let me tell you something. I could understand how come some are politicians, not politicians, Calypsonians, the deal with CCM. CCM got a lot of lyrics. A lot of lyrics, boy. And they are always sweet. Oh my god. They say that CCM will create a cricketing academy in partnership with the Singits and Nevis Patriots, so that there will be more exposure for both males and females in the cricketing field. Um, I don't want to believe that they're talking about Keith Academy. Because I don't think Keith Academy got nothing to do with Patriots neither.
No.
It might be, but I don't think that this is that. Um, the next one is that we were supposed to get a performing arts center with a state of the art recording studio. And this would allow Nivision youths to develop their musical talents and recording skills. Without contradiction, music has been the panacea for the young. When me just hear like the premier say something like music is the panacea for the young. You ever hear any young person in your life say panacea?
Nope.
I never even hear old people talk about panacea. What the hell panacea got to do with it? Me not even know what panacea be. I gonna have to look it up after the show.
When you say that, right, it look like you're trying to create a fancy word for the kid, for the youths, them. You know what I mean? Just to make them feel a little extra special. Yeah, it's part of the niche.
Yeah, and the other hand here, it is through music that deviant antisocial behavior may be changed and your youth directed to positive ways. I thought it's through the peace program. Me no know through music. I thought
Anything.
that money they got to come in a week time and then me gonna get peace. Me no know a music I be had to play. Who get peace?
But you got the whole building, you got the whole nipak down there. Where you want an extra building for?
Oh, the music academy was supposed to be done at NEPAC, by the way. It might still be. Maybe it's down there and I don't know. But this was one of the things that was said. Um, and here's a something I'll give CCM big up for sure. The next one was that the CCM will secure scholarships to study abroad. Um, I would not tell nobody send their child to Georgia or Turkey. And I don't tell
Somebody said
I the
pull up.
Taiwan one. I don't tell I
Somebody said pull up on the Topiks.
somebody
I don't hear from somebody.
say I got the 2011 one. No? It's
But
2011 one
somebody
I'm
said pull up.
listening to.
But somebody went to early pull up to 1992.
He started the TNT program that will be in the program for the young men them. But he said his young men going TNT. I know hear one man talk about the TNT program there. And the TNT program to me, based upon what he was saying to me, was doing more for creating a piece than anything. Because I hear what the thing be Jason. You could send with two man, right? And them man got a
War
problem with
beef
one
with one
another.
another.
But when you send them a foreign, yo, all of a sudden now it's me and you, you know. You check it
But
out.
it's the same thing happen.
We depend
It's
the
the same
same
thing happen
team.
with me. It's the same thing happen with me. Me and a man come up here, me and the man don't talk. And
Mm-hmm.
like for instance, I could remember the man bust me a slap and me tell me say me gonna catch him, but the man still hiding. And guess what? Me he on the same plane, on the same seat. And when I be reach Antigua before I be next flight, me say, yo, when I be out here, is me and you know, no, I be go pull all the bullshit there behind I be, you know. And the
Mm-hmm.
man said, bye, yeah.
I'm telling you. Yeah, man. Them kind of thing there.
And these
To
man,
me,
hold on. And these same people who went to for Trinidad, yeah, Sammy, most of them end up got their own business.
because but you get skills, huh? But I tell you, I
Within
know a
6 months.
man. Yeah, I know a man for sure. The man was like, bye. You know, people, SK Nevis, no care what you're talking about. The man don't get on. But true, you were out there and you're depend a camp with this person. Bruh, real life got to kick
What?
in at some point in time, yeah?
Listen. I have a cousin. You know what I mean? You know Zib.
Mm-hmm.
Zib when go do welding and all that stuff there. You understand me? And Zib went back again pan his own. Go study underwater welding.
Wait, Tanya, upon your case, boy. Tanya asks, what you say if you get slapped?
What you say? Yeah, Tanya, me get a slap from a man. You know what I mean? Never get to catch the man because as me get a slap, all kind of people start holding me back. And couldn't find the man because the man me live a castle. Eh?
um, so as me say, me have a big up. This is the CCM government for the scholarships they have been able to provide the students. I got some interesting countries. Scholarship to Switzerland, to the UK, to Australia, to Mexico, to Morocco. If we had more Arabized people, we would have had more people going to the Morocco one, but that one they kind of
But
bold, they
me no,
sexy.
but me no see, me no see nobody, me no see nobody will come back with any results to show that their hands on. Because look how we just talk about 2006, right? And we could still talk about 2006 up to now in terms of these guys who went to Trinidad for 6 months, rather than the person who went to Taiwan for 10 years.
But this is the thing, because and this is how come me I say. Sometimes we do this thing and we say, "Bye, you provide this person this education." Which part and even could come back and work with this education what we provide them with. So sometimes you better have a skill, and then that are the next thing too. You come back with the education, but you got bills. You go
Mm-hmm.
long 6 months, you get 6 months, and you have a skill, and you know you could
Hey,
do this thing here, so you get paid. Bro.
hey, let me show you what's going on. Let me show you what's going on with my skill set, right? And it got sometimes when I be at home and a man maybe one a man will do some sort of job and I would come as a laborer and when I see the job I do the diagnostic and I'm like, hey, watch, give me $800 after I get this done for you in 4 hours time.
Mm-hmm.
And the man like, you sure? I say, yeah, just give me $800 and I get it done for you. Because me can't tell the person over the phone because they ain't gonna show when they meet you in person now, you know what I mean? You give them the surety. Because you got
Mm-hmm.
presence is everything.
And as you say, you go do the diagnostic too, see exactly where you're dealing with.
Yeah,
The
and that's
commissioner
how you
is the
don't
only
win them
person
over.
in around. Wow. All I'm saying is, Tanya, there are apparently scholarship opportunities for people in Morocco. I I just be concerned about going to these countries with a lot of Islam, and it's not because I have any problems. I mean, I have my Islamic brothers, but like when the country itself is Islam, by the man, I got some strict rules, boy. Can't bring in no alcohol, can't do this, can't do that. So me kinda I only go visit them place there. Me go and watch, but me can't live there. Is that
They
all
say you never
those
let
far
my children go to.
countries? I never would have let my children go those places. I wanna there are some wonderful opportunities out there still, eh? I would not the hustle right away.
Are you wanna? You're right because guess what? Yeah, that's what I mean. When your child go to them countries, you know what child they don't show out there, lad. And you could have been on grand 7 times.
Well, some of them Western too, as I say. You got some UK, some Australian and all them thing. But I gonna get a big up stuff.
Of course.
They said that Sixth Form college would be transformed into a community college. I don't know if that occurred because really and truly, the man plan like build. They're supposed to build a whole new Sixth Form and like let CSS take over the whole building. Like don't they just be CSS alone?
Well, the Chinese them they ain't gonna come back again and build a next building, so they ain't gonna happen.
Right? Me no want nobody else build a building there except them. I don't want to be upon the hospital and all them kind of things. I do not want nobody else got to build a building. Yeah.
And remember when they was building the sixth farm there. Yeah, that's what I mean. They were building St. John's Premier at the same time too, So they're basically
Yeah.
identical.
Yeah. But them man don't sleep no. Man don't sleep. Me see them man there, them you were there and like minutes to 11 thing. That when them man they say bye, I'll be done work out today.
Boy, watch out, all through holidays, me had a partner of mine been a work there. And when holiday come, he said he gonna go work still and the man will tell him, no, go home, enjoy your holiday. We
Yeah.
go deal with
And
this.
them man they working so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just to let y'all know, the CCM manifesto in 2011 was People Matter More, and the premier, after all the search in his heart and his mind, he was able to upgrade it to People Matter Most. So I feel like the slogan for this election might just be, it might just be people, y'all people, the best people. Um,
Huh?
The next one is that they say they're gonna build $20 million worth of low income houses.
What? How much?
20 million
20 million
for
worth of low
social,
income houses.
for social security.
Hmm. You could say that's basically 20 houses.
No man, 20 houses. But
Yeah.
them man say them must sell them house there for like what, like 250,000. Four
Alan,
horses from
Alan, Alan, let me talk politics.
uh huh.
I don't say the number. Yeah, that's how I say you go. If a $2 billion will be a jail, I say you go.
Listen, if that $20 million then I bring, if that $20 million then I bring at least 80 horse to 100 horse, something gone wrong. We need an investigation into the money. If they say they negotiate $20 million, $20 million should be 80 horses. Based upon how much they just be charging for this. 'Cause remember a low
Well,
income
well,
house
it should.
and they might charge
It
less
should.
and they might charge more than how much it costs them to build the house, supposedly.
Well, Alan, it should. It should.
Yes. Um we reached to the last part of the
They're gonna come back and say.
emphasis from the
They're
premier,
gonna
which
come back
was
and
the
say.
economy.
They're gonna say. They're
Um,
gonna come back and say. The repair of the septic tank. This and that. We had a fault.
no, boy, that extra. With regards to the economy, they said that we would have two new touristic developments, one at Penny's and one at Patworks. Well, we know that the one at Penny's has already come. The last I checked, people look like they don't get fed up at the smoothie park. Um, the park is still lovely. Um, I'm not gonna
What
be
is
there
boy?
for
The
the
people will get fed up quicker though.
how much flavors is a smoothie you gonna get in there? After a while, what the hell? And then as a matter of fact, you don't know what parents gonna do to 'em. They gonna end up and go to supermarket and be like, mega frozen food to 'em. You know, see mega banana, you better spin up your smoothie in a blender. That way, and smoothie, this and that. I'm telling you. They gonna get a day where it's like half smoothie. The man go around a lot of promotion and then kind of things there. And now it's a kind of well, maybe things pick up. Cause the place hot now so right now. Very hot. They also said that they expect the redevelopment of the West Haven property, including a boardwalk and retail shops and restaurants and office space and marina facility. Hear the killer sentence again. An investor has been identified, and news can look forward to the realization of this major development initiative. The premier always identify an investor. The only thing me no want the premier identify me, cause when the premier identify you, you know yourself. In your ass. Ain't happening. Wherever it is, ain't happening. Me glad you know me.
I mean, stop playing up.
No, only during the interview them, not in public. Oh God.
But Adele been say a while ago, a four horse you might get out of the 20 million.
No, mad man. Let me see. Let me see. Oh yes, this next one is the $5 million. They have made it so that $5 million is available annually if you are for you to are
You go to another,
35.
you know.
No, you know shut down. You know shut down. You know, me only say people get fed up around there. Remember the thing got to keep going and going. But it tastes good but
What?
expensive. Had from the shop in the pennies and sip on the square. Other say the smoothies in even tastes good but expensive now. She had from the shop at pennies and sip on the square.
Who'll sip on the square?
And I
That
am not
Diddy?
familiar with me not familiar with that. Maybe me familiar because sometimes me doesn't know people behind me deal with that, them all the time and me don't know the name of no Jason. Me deal with them
I
all
think
the
it's
time.
Diddy and Buju then.
Okay. Uh, that would normally be vibes.
Well, prices are higher, so you gotta replicate to that.
By Jason is like the thing to is what the local market to it. Cause you don't know what happened. When you come to the smoothie, people want in strawberries and this berry and kiwi, all kind of different fruits where we not necessarily might got to hand. So we got to supermarket which carry up the price and all that kind of thing there. That's what making need to got somebody right now. Me like to put dragon fruit in a my smoothie them. Somebody
Of
need to
course.
get on the dragon fruit beat. The dragon fruit beat is a beat what need to be and vision beat from what I see. The
Well,
amount of money that
something
is
thing
there.
going. certain things what we mostly put in our smoothies too, you know what I mean? Like most of us don't even want to. Because like it got sauce up and all those type of stuff. How much are we gonna want sauce up? We go prefer go for strawberry, banana, and all these different flavors, all these imported fruits and all that stuff, rather
Yeah.
than the local too, right? So then again, some people can't even vex.
I want to believe that these smoothies are natural in most instances. We never really had no powdered smoothie.
We
I
never
mean,
had
talk about
none either.
fruits. Yeah, me talk about fruit smoothie. Um. Oh yeah. So the next one was they said that if you are under 35 years old or you're a woman, you would be able to, I think, get at least $150,000 from the small businesses. Yeah, the small business SBE, whatever the E stand for, at a 2% interest rate. So it's good to be a woman in this. You just got to be a woman, and you get well, and with a business plan, and you go get $100,000. If he's a smart man, you understand, and you know the lady believe in you, I could do anything too. She could get 100,000. That's wonderful. That would be on a big scale, Coven, with regards to the dragon fruits.
You gotta be consistent. But you see what happened to we don't go for a lot of we milk based smoothies. We don't go for more lean and more natural food like passion fruit and golden apple and all those type and mango and so. We want our stuff milk based.
Um, I will not be presenting the NRP manifesto. I don't have the NRP manifesto. This is more of, as I said, people look at the situation and they feel like it's only election time. They have to hold the party accountable. One of the things where you got to deal with when you're dealing with a party in power, it's just like your relationship, and it does come to a point in the relationship when you ask yourself, "Bye, we gonna continue this relationship? Are we gonna move on?" And what this is we're looking, as me say, when the relationship start, woman does mark down everything. Alan, you say you're gonna buy me a puppy. Say you're gonna buy me a puppy in 2 years. Me not make you promise me, you know, but you say you're gonna buy me the puppy, and this is 3 years in your ass. Me not seen a puppy. So this is us looking at the scenario, and because you got to determine, you know, like a woman could tell me a small lion. A woman could tell anybody could tell me a small lion. Me might ask you like, "What tell me that ever?" Let me not continue that trend there. But that's something you could tell me a lie to preserve my feelings, and me understand. I could work with you with that. But then if you tell me things when me a depend pan, you check it out. The reason why I chose to go with you is because you sell me this thing in this particular way. And me a look at me and see me a soul. You, it, somebody ever call you and tell you, "Bye, my session sweet up here, you know? Why you want to reach up your boy?" And when you reach up, they use like, "What sweetness you been talking about?" And if somebody call you like a so, and you reach up there and the thing no good, all of a sudden you want to watch it, and all me say is, if they call you again and tell you, "Why you gonna reach up your thing sweet," you're not really gonna pay attention to that. Cause you know that them level of sweetness and your level of sweetness ain't the same.
But Alan, if you keep in a party, right? Because I just see a comment a
Mm-hmm.
while ago. If you keep in a party, right, and when you keep in a party, you make money, man. Yeah, something better yourself in life, and you find You find your two friend them a fight, a man and a woman. They're in a relationship and they decide to fight to mash up the party. You understand me? And the only way to save the party from mashing up, continue mash up, is to throw them out the party. Would you throw them out? Yes or no?
Take a go. One of the major rules of the party is anybody who gonna fuck up the party have to go. If you feel like
So
you're bigger than the party, if you feel like you're bigger than the party, go ahead outside. God, I what you say you're bigger than the party. So since you're
well,
smaller than you, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, Nevis people made a choice. They decide, well, if two of them are fight, you understand me? One got to go out and one gonna stay in. So the
The,
aggressor, the aggressor still in the party.
um, really got too much money in the manifesto. The CCM, the economy wasn't really too much on CCM money.
Well, what
I got
well,
I got some water in happy don't know. You know, let me you gonna say what you say and then let me get in happy some. Okay, I got some water fine.
well, you know what me want? You understand me? I want some 1992 and some 2006. You know what I mean? And a little here and there. Because we're going to continue this manifesto discussion. You know? Because the manifesto
Okay.
is very vital for all of us. And as a
Um,
matter of fact, Corvin Wilkin, um, we need you on the show. And that also, we need you on the show. Make sure come with some books too. You check it out because we're going back. You check it out, so walk with a pen and a paper. Yeah.
um, hear me in happy with them before we sign off. And it bring us full circle too. As we said, there has been a lot of traveling recently, and people will have traveled to New York, and I think I even heard Janice on a program speaking about the financial difficulties that NRP find themselves in. And I think that she would have even have said that they told constituents like they would like a donation and these type of thing. Um, and this got to CCM, this got to the new party as well. Anybody who did trying to do this politics thing. Um, a political party is a business. The business of a political party is to attempt to run the government ultimately, but have influence politically for the people. Okay? It is a business overall. Um, NRP got to get real. Um, Bake sale in 2022. Go pull in money and then go to constituents and say, boy, things rough and he's in opposition and try to organize yourself like a business. Maybe you would have some dialogue, some complications in describing it as a business. As me I tell you, when okay, right now at the farm companies, when you farm a company, one of the things that I say is, what's the purpose of this company? Some company, as I said, the purpose of a political party is to be influential, to affect policies and all of that on behalf of the public. You need money to do these things. The GOP, when you hear them talk about the GOP in America, is a business. That's how come they got a chairman and so. When you're talking about the party chairman, Hensley are supposed to be doing things and figuring out ways to be raising money. Otherwise, why is he the chairman? To go New York in the Hawaiian shirt? Come on, bro. Really, that can be what taking place. So, all who dealing with politics deal with your party like it's a business. Make sure that you go do things for people. Can't be big sale. I think I tell people you're broke, and you were surprised in the last election. That is my NRP word for tonight.
I just I just want to say great points, Alan, and that is some free advice, and I hope you guys take this seriously because some of the time, most of the time, all the time, we talking the facts. Although you know, some people maybe think that oh, we ain't educated enough, we ain't British enough, you know, for you guys to understand whatever. But a common sense, we normally don't be on the grounds and we know what's going on. So tit for tat. Anyways, it was fun to have you guys here. It's always a pleasure. You don't know it. The topics, it's been real. I just want to thank the Real Entertainment Network for having us here. Yeah, and we out. Have a good night.
Good night, ladies. Good night, Loretta. Still in Orlando.
Yeah, bro.